All right, what's up, guys? So I decided to bust out the camera because I just realized I'm out here. I just removed the rear bumper, this rusty son of a bitch. So look at this thing. Pure cancer. That's Michigan right there for you. Car from Ohio, Michigan. That's what it looks like for you. Straight rust bucket, full of, listen to this, ready? Yeah, buddy. But it bolts right out. We'll get a new crash bar. And Rocky's out here hanging. But I'm gonna set you guys up, get to work. The goal right now is just drop the fuel tank. See what's going on in the fuel tank. I know that it's rusty and crusty. And it leaks. I know that because I was told that by the people I got it from. So it's very easy to believe that the tank is leaky if the guy who was selling you the car is like, hey, the tank's leaky. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, then I won't use this tank. That's why they sent it with a fuel cell. I got the fuel cell in the garage. It's a 20-gallon, sent with an inline pump and all the jazz. I got it up here. DNA motoring. I don't know anything about that pump, but or about that cell, but I think I might use it in the FJ to use the 20 gallons to fill the 15-gallon tank, so I can get a little extended range on that thing, but put the weight of the fuel where I want it. And then in here, the crash bar mounts, bolts are right here. So anyone who has an MK3, the crash bar mounts, one right here, one right there. Just got those out. The fuel pump is right here, is connected. So get that disconnected. And then I already broke off one of the rusty bolts here for the filler neck. So right now I'm gonna try to start dropping the tank before I disconnect the filler neck. I might just need to get a new filler neck since I already broke a bolt, and I'm not sure if it's gonna separate from the tank or not. This thing's crusty as hell. So we're gonna start there. I'm gonna set you guys on the tripod and you can watch me work. But the goal is to get this tank dropped and then get it out of the way and pick up another one so that we can start with fuel, right? I think that's the first thing to do when you're trying to get a motor running. Make sure you can get fuel, make sure you can get power, make sure everything's buttoned up in the engine, see if it'll fire, right? So that's kind of where we're at. Been watching a lot of Vice Grip Garage, and boy motivates me, but he also has an order of operations that makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna do kind of as he does. Check on brakes, check on fuel, check on spark. But before we can check on spark, we got to get the motor in there. So one of my buddies says he's got a crane and I can borrow it. So we'll get that here in a few days, and then we'll get to work on that. But get you guys set up, watch me get this fuel tank dropped. Appreciate you tuning in for episode 2. And if you like what I'm doing, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please like. Please comment the pictures or the videos. It's hard to keep doing this when people aren't engaging it. But I love doing the car stuff, and I love what it brings to me. I love the friends I meet. I love tinkering on stuff, and so I'm going to keep doing it. But I really hope that you guys engage it and talk to me more about what you're thinking, what you're doing, things you've done with these types of vehicles, so that we can keep the community going and keep these cars alive. So thanks, guys. Again, thanks for tuning in. Little bottle. Love me a little bottle jack, all right? I will say, love me a little bottle jack. All right, let's get this down so we can get some good droppage. Let's bring it up. I lied, we're already low enough. Oop. What's the middle of this tank? About right there. Come on, any day now, Jack. There we go. You know, I wonder if that was a saying that came from using a jack. Any day now, Jack. Or if jack was just a very standard term of the era. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, this jack, any day now, bitch. Slow bottle jack. Alright, that should be enough. Let's spin this up a little bit more. Boop. Okay, that's in there. One hanger. Two hangers. Smells like Royal under here. That's a loose tank if I ever seen one. Now, can we get to the filler? I don't know. But let's let this check down and see what happens. It'd be nice if I could spin it. Nice, the filler neck just pulled out. We love that. I'm gonna get this one. What size is that? It looks tiny. Like an 8. It's even smaller than an 8. That's great. I don't think I got one that small. That's what it is. Is it a 5? It's a 6. Wow. That's kind of crazy. It's a 7. I'm over here lying to myself now. Where did that little mini ratchet go? There it is. Doesn't really want to fit. It's like between a 6 and a 7, which is honestly, what a strange size. Alright, that one's loose. They're all loose. Just trying to get the jack out from under there and let it fall. Let's see what happens. Alright, as you can see in here, these are what I was dealing with. They wouldn't come off, but they're loose. And then I got this one loose right here. Alright. Fuel lines all look pretty good up there. They're not too bad. They're rusty, but they're not corroded through or nothing. They're not flaky. And actually the subframe looks really good too, despite its the back end is so, the bumper was crusty, but honestly under here is not too bad. Like, this is all still solid, not a lot of rust, believe it or not. But fuel tank's out. Time to put some new straps in for sure. Alright guys, well, got us a little something. Old Rusty Krusty. So as you can see here, we got the old rear bumper and the old fuel tank. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rusty. It has no gas in it, which is nice. Ain't got no gas in it. We're gonna pull old pump out and see what that thing's looking like in the return, and kind of go from there. But glad to have gotten this out. I don't think I'm gonna use the fuel cell, like I said. Just don't think it's in the cards. I think it's a better fit to, I don't know though, looks pretty sick with no fuel tank under there. There's a lot of clearance. So, but yeah, you can see that spare tire area and all the clearance under the back side when there's no fuel cell under there. So, you can see the little port now. Still got the hookups. Floors are clean. That's what we like. We ain't no rusty ass Supra. Supra is definitely crusty, but honestly, floors are solid. All the rust is in places that you're not really afraid of, so. And there's a little CB antenna port on the roof. Who the fuck? Who did that? Why'd you do that? Anyways, see you guys soon. Alright, so there's a few OEM fuel tanks for sale with filler neck, fuel pump, and everything. I'm gonna try to soak these. Got some aero coil on them. See if I can break them loose. They're really bad. The Phillips head is gone on most of them, but the shape is still there. So I might be able to use like an 8 or a 10 mil, break all of the ones off of the sending unit. But as far as the float and the return, I don't know. We'll see if we can get them off. If not, I'm just gonna buy the tank that comes with everything. If I can get them off though, I might be able to order just a tank by itself. Trying to save the fuel cell, but we'll use it if we have to. Just trying to save it for right now. I think the next thing is to get some cutting wheels for my grinder and take off some of this stuff that's bent up, because I don't like how it looks. And then figure out if we can find some fenders, probably call around. I'm gonna call 410 Auto Wrecking and see what they have. They do Toyotas. They may have a Supra laying around or two. So, gonna see what 410 has, gonna call around. Been on Marketplace looking for stuff, haven't found a lot of stuff yet, but well, let me turn this music off, hold on. So yeah, gonna call around, see if we can find a tank and some fenders from a yard. Gonna buy the over fenders for the rear, the wide body over fenders for the rear. I think that's the idea, right? So gas tanks out, filler necks out. Guess we'll blow through the gas line, see if they got movement. If not, we'll have to replace those. And then Shane's gonna let me pick up his engine crane tomorrow. He doesn't need it right now, so he's like, take it and get it out of my garage, please. I'm like, yeah, I'll gladly hold on to it. So get you some friends that let you borrow tools and parts and things like that, and take them until they need them. I got a coilover compressor. My buddies are always using that. They got an engine lift and they got tube benders and presses and shit. I'm always using that. So, gonna get the engine crane tomorrow. What we're gonna do is take the 7M GTE off of the stand so that we can remove the flywheel. Because the goal is to separate this transmission from this motor put that transmission on there, and then put it right back in. But the flywheel on the 7M GT that's on the stand has the nubs shaved off. So I'm gonna have to get that off and then go through it real quick with just a visual inspection, filling it with some fluid, seeing if everything stays in there. I'm gonna get some rattle can rebuild for it and touch up things like the cover and the block and, you know, all the little brackets, and make it look pretty, right? Get it in here at least looking like it got rebuilt. And then we're gonna leave the over the top manifold on this one. I was thinking about doing a front facing manifold, but why force a front facing manifold into here when it's already piped and set up like this? And this car is kind of beater-esque, right? We'll do the front facing manifold if it makes sense eventually, but we don't need to spend the extra money right now. I also like the idea of the Supra getting the front facing manifold, getting it all polished up, getting that engine bay looking like, and leaving this one kind of like, yeah, it runs, it hauls ass, but who knows, right? Oh, it's also funny, there's a GoPro mount spot on the side of this car, a little sticker spot. Looked like somebody had a GoPro there at one point. I don't know, I want to know more about the history of this car. I might try to look up that gambler race it was in, but getting the fuel tank out was easy as hell. I mean, I expected more to it. With it having no fuel in it, it's pretty straightforward. So, just trying to figure out what's next, you know? So, slowly getting there. But I don't really know, you know? Just chipping away at it. And then neighbor kid's out riding a mini bike, like a mini bicycle. Like he's 10 and the bike's probably like a Strider for like a little kid. Goofy. But anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. Got the fuel tank out. I'll update you with what we're gonna do next. I'm not really sure right now, so give me a few minutes and let me toy around with some shit and think about my process, and we'll go from there. All right, so it's time for a little smoke break and grab some lunch. I don't know if this is allowed on YouTube, so we'll just light it, but we won't hit it on YouTube. We're gonna go grab some lunch, show you guys some of the other things I've discovered. Just turned the motor over by hand, and it sounds like really good compression, like from every cylinder. Can hear it through the intake manifold. So all in all, feeling pretty confident. All the fuel cells that all the fuel tanks that I've made an offer on right now, these people are super firm at like $800-900, which is, no, absolutely not. We're not paying $900 for a fuel tank. Never. I'll buy another fuel cell before I'll do that. So, we'll keep looking for a fuel tank. I'm gonna call a few yards, but we might end up just installing the fuel cell and calling it a day. I'll keep you guys updated. Let me go grab this lunch, and then when I get back, we'll tap in. All right, welcome back, guys. So I just went and got some lunch. You probably had about 6 seconds in between the last clip and this clip. So I was on Marketplace, messaged a guy, was like, hey, he had a tank for 800. I was like, I'll give you 500. He was like, I'm firm on the price, cash only. Needless to say, I messaged him back, you know, and I was like, bro, listen, absolutely not. So I messaged this other guy who's been parting out this car, and I was asking him about the trims, and I was like, hey, since you're parting out the car, what do you want for the fuel tank and the fenders on the front? Because then I can just buy his fenders and I don't have to try to get these doctored up. And so I was gonna buy his trims. I was gonna buy the kick plate cover for the passenger side, and I was gonna buy the rear bumper crash bar because mine's rusted to death, and the fuel tank with everything in it because I have everything in this fuel tank, but I gotta look up online whether or not the 7M GE and the 7M GTE run the same fuel setup in the tank. If not, I'll just change the internals in this one into that one. But this tank was just cashed, so I was like, you know, we gotta at least get a new tank. And he said that car was somebody's daily. It got T-boned, so we're only missing one of the trims on that car on the passenger door. So I was gonna grab the front fenders, replace those, because I don't like how they use the vice grip to make these flares. And then the rears, I'm gonna put a wide body on, so we'll just get rid of that look. And then we'll get a new fuel tank from this guy, some door trims from this guy, and the front fenders from this guy. He wanted $250 for the tank and $250 for the fenders as a pair. That's $500. I told him rear crash bar. He said $60. I said deal. So $560, and I've replaced all of the crusty, rusty parts or missing parts. Now we need to get the $1,000 for these rear fenders, which are just overpriced. But I'm gonna spend it unless I can find a set. So if anybody has the shine fenders for the rear of an MK3 Supra, I'll buy them. But if nobody has them, because I move pretty quickly, I'll probably find a set, and if I don't find a set, I'll order a set. The goal is to see if I can rent a sandblaster, and then what I want to do is actually walk around and sandblast this paint. Just go at it. Put holes where there's holes and flaky stuff, and get rid of any cancer there might be. And I'm gonna see if that's possible to rent one or buy one. If I can buy one and get it going. I was looking up online what it looks like. It's possible. So we're gonna debate that, but I really want to sand this car. It might just be a disc sander. And sand it, spray it, put the wide body rear fenders on it, put the trims back on it, put a new rear crash bar on so it has something there and it doesn't look crusty. Put a new fuel tank back in it, get this motor out, get that motor in. That's where we're at. Gotta pick up the crane from Shane tomorrow, and organizing my new toolbox. Check this out. New to me, so snap on. I did a clear coat on it, as you can see. So I took a Brillo to it to get just the surface layer bull crap off of it, and then took a clear to it so I don't hurt myself while I'm using it, and so it doesn't age anymore. Still got the stickers on it. I had to take this off and put it back on, but it's on there nice and snug now. All the drawers are working. I'm starting to put stuff in them. Oh, something's getting stuck in here already. Let's not and say we did. Boom. So got this. This has been helping me figure out what the hell's going on. And there she is in all her glory. I don't know what they did with this rear seat, but they put that cloth in. I hate it. And then you can see under there what it looks like with no tank. I kind of like it with no tank under there. There's a lot of space. I would love to just cut out the spare tire area and then leave it like that. But I don't want the fuel in the car. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to deal with it. So we're going to put it right back how it was, and we're going to run their lines right back where they were, because that's easier that way. I did notice something earlier when I was working on it that we're going to have to address. But somebody put some weird washer setup on the brakes. Check this out. Like, I don't know who put these brakes on, but that's a fucked up setup. And it's on the other side too, so not safe. Definitely not safe. Won't drive it like that. So knowing that the brakes are set up like that, and somebody probably drove it like that, we're gonna have to walk through everything we possibly can on this as we work on it. That doesn't scare me. It's no different than the FJ when I work on it, because who knows what bolts are tight and which ones aren't. I do all the suspension on that. I've done all the suspension on this one, so we're just gonna have to go through the brakes and the suspension on this one. And but she looks cool. She looks cool as hell sitting in the garage. I really like this car. I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be cool. I get the new front fenders, I'll kind of show you what I plan on doing. When I get the new front fenders, so I've noticed here, you see how they're sitting right now? There's bolts in there. They're kind of bowed from getting hit. I'm thinking how he has all this vice stripped out. I hate it, right? But I do like how he's got it pulled out wide there like that. So what I'm thinking is we draw a nice line on the ones we're getting and kind of go high and then bring it back down. Rally style, you know, so the wheel can come up and we'll see what it looks like. I mean, the fenders are $250 for the set, and the way I'm looking at it, we just gotta don't cut too much the first time, you know, really see what it looks like, get some design that looks cool, makes the car look aggressive, and then slice them up, and then we can slowly but surely make it look like a car again. Paint it, tint the windows, because why not? And I'm on it blacked out, like look murderous, but paint it, tint the windows. This is what I was saying on the other side. So see how they got this here and it's not in there, but there's part of me that's like, you could put them on a washer or something and do like a little bit of a gill, just depending on how you cut this and where you cut this. So I mean, there's a lot of potential to use these fenders, bolt on the tops, do something different on the bottom. I don't know, I think for me it's just cut them so that they look better than these ones look, and then like keep yanking on these types of dents. I can get these out, I just haven't spent much time. Like this one's like right there. Just gotta really work that top spot with the heat gun. So that's not hard. Plus this is all gonna get covered up. I really just like it. The shoulder's still here. This is the only bad spot on the shoulder. It's right there. You see the paint's kind of even messed up. So that's where we need to get some work done on the body, but I think that by sanding it and painting it, it's just gonna look 100 times better already. It's already a shit box in the sense of what we're using it for. It's already got no inner fender liners. It's gonna leak. We're gonna have to build our own inner fender liners. I'm thinking like a lot of JB weld and some type of bent aluminum or something. It's just keeps shit from getting in there. Seam sealer, you know. And then, but yeah, I think some fenders, some paint, a motor, a fuel tank, and this thing's gonna be cool. I gotta find out. I haven't seen it in the car yet. It might be in here somewhere, but we're missing. These have the adjustable dampers from the factory that have like the buttons for sport mode and comfort mode or whatever. You can push on the inside of the car, change the dampers on the OEM suspension. And since it's on the OEM suspension, I figured we might as well be able to use those. So I gotta see if it's in the car. If it's not, I gotta find one. They don't seem like they're hard to find. I've seen them online already. So look at this toolbox. Just love that. I just love the age with the clear. It's like a nice patinaed ass rig, but it's a toolbox. It's got the push. It's got the caster wheels on the bottom. Oh, look at this thing. Sheesh. What's up, baby? What's up, baby? This baby. Just a straight up road carnage rig, tow rig, clean as hell on the sides, smashed, front end smashed, bugs. And then this is the other one that, of course, really got me into working on shit. You know, only the best. Only the best. Only the best. And then there's this crusty ass tank, which I don't think it's as bad as the last owner was saying, but it is leaking out of one of these seams. You can see that for sure. And you can see here, guys, I put that coil on here earlier. It's already dissolved a lot of that to where these ones for sure, we can definitely see what's going on. So we could probably get a lot of these off. I'm gonna spray these another time because those are sketchy looking and they look like they're gonna break. Is this a little primer? Oh no, that's looks like a negative or something. No, that's a positive. Here's your negative. And anyways, I think we can get the internals out. The internals are coming with that other one. Like I said, I don't know if they're the same or they're different. We're gonna pull them both out, look at both of them, compare and contrast. But that car was somebody's daily before he started parting it out. So, and he got it like a month ago. It has fresh tags on it still. So, gas tank's a promiser. I told him as long as it's not leaking, it's a run. And I don't think we're gonna be far off from getting this car running. The hardest part's going to be getting the motor in because I've never installed one of these motors. Don't know what we're getting into. Also, not like a guy here that's installed a lot of motors myself. I've worked on every part of a motor at some point. I have never installed a whole engine. So when we borrow Shane's crane and get this one prepared to be dropped in, it's gonna be based upon whatever they disconnected when they were taking this one apart, whatever we have already on this one, and then like kind of putting two and two together to figure out what's missing. So it should be interesting. I see everything in here already, it seems like, but there's a lot of disconnected things like AC, and I see a lot of vacuums need connected. I see, looks like some oil lines. I can see the fuel rails disconnected. Got some stuff to do, but this turbo has no play on it that's in the motor right now, so we love that. I'm probably gonna take the one that's on the motor off the motor and put it on this one, only because he told me that it had upgraded internals, and I don't know if that's true. So why not just send it as the one we deal with first and see what it's like? Go from there. Break somebody else's turbo before we break the turbo that we bought. The one that we bought looks pretty good. Looks like somebody has resprayed it or cleaned it up at one point. I did this with the Brillo pad. Cleaned up all right. This one's not bad for sitting in the dust. I think if I cleaned it up, old boy, it looked pretty good, but it's definitely already disconnected. It's ready to come out. Intercooler's already piped. We love that. Got to put the radiator back in. That's in the trunk. And we have back here is like the radiator, the air cleaner, the rest of the intake is back there. So I'm hoping that everything in the bolts that he's taken off are back there. I've seen the valve cover bolts right there because the valve covers aren't bolted in. But if you look, they're not bolted in, but they've been sitting there. Everything is here. Nothing is crusty. You can see all the lobes look like they've been used recently. None of them are burnt up or rubbed the wrong way. So this is all really good signs. Really, really good signs. So we just got to get it out and get it put back together. The guy was pretty trustworthy who I bought it from. He raced this car. He's used it before. Explained to me kind of how they used it, what that was like, and he said the car ran great. It just would leak stuff, and he's like, and there just becomes a point where you're running it and putting fluids in, and it's leaking, and you don't run it that much, and then you got to do that. He was like, it was a pain in the ass, and I'm like, yeah, you know, that's true. That's true. You'll have that. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, let's get it out. Let's put it back in. I got a guy who was selling me a dash for 200 bucks. It's maroon, and my car is blue. Kind of disappointing. But I think that if I got it, we can see what we can do with it. Technically, I could probably do something with this one. It's cracked right over the center. I know they're coverable. You can get them redone, but this one looks like it's pretty fucked up. So we'll see. It's not my first focus, but it's definitely, I'm one of those guys. He needs to have a clean dash. I don't care what car it is. I don't care how old it is. I don't care how crusty it is. Certain things just got to be the way they got to be. So And I cannot wait until I get these windows cleaned enough that they don't look like they look, because they're fucking disgusting. I've already cleaned them twice and they still look like they've never been cleaned. They're crusty. Car sat in the sun, a lot of dust baked on it for a long time. And here's one place that you can really tell that, is when you look at it right here. You can see where the spoiler was, and you can see the rest of the car. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. So this car is got a lot of shit cooked onto it, as you can see. So it comes off. It's crusty. This taillight's the one I scrubbed with the Brillo. As you can see, almost everything's come off of it. It's got some cracks in it, but all in all, I think if we treat it with some stuff, it'll come back to life pretty good. Same with this one. It's got some cracks in it, but it hasn't been scrubbed at all. You can see all the crustiness on it. So we'll scrub that and get it right. But all right, boys, I think that's good for the rest of this video, and a little catch up on what we've been working on, and then I'll update you guys when I get the engine crane and kind of what we're going to do from there. First thing we got to do is get that engine off, get it on the ground, get the flywheel off, because that flywheel is no good. Then we'll pull the engine out when we have the stand free, and we'll go from there. I need new straps for this. I'm going to see if they got some of these straps for the tank too. Actually, these ones aren't too bad. They're crusty, but I could probably spray can rebuild them and nobody would know. This car's not too crusty, bro. There's spots that are bad, but there's really not. It's not lost. Like, it's not lost. Everything's here. You know, everything's solid. It's shit like this that you're like, okay, what the fuck? But that's the exhaust hanger. We can figure that out later. It ain't got no exhaust on it. You know, see the doors? Doors seen better days. This one specifically. Driver one's not too bad. That one's bad. Thought about grabbing some new doors off this car. One of them's already T-boned, and it's the one we need more. So we'll find doors, but we'll wait till we find doors for damn near free. You guys gotta understand how to build stuff without costing yourself an arm and a leg. A lot of my buddies don't know how I do it. It's because I keep looking. I lowball everybody. And when the guy that I lowballed didn't take my offer and I find my offer, I tell the guy who I lowballed, hey, by the way, found the deal that you wouldn't give me, so you should give a deal to the next guy. That's how we make this better for all of us. Get the prices down. Don't be fucking overpaying for stuff. You don't need it that bad, promise. You can wait. Money goes longer if you use it properly. It's just money, but spend it wisely, please, please. All right, peace.